think this is the funniest thing ever, right? Will has crossed out speaker to put person. Why did you do that, Will?
Because I had it the other way around heaps, and then like as soon as it would flop around to be black, like students and like just people that are here would suddenly like start to act different. They'd be
like they would put the shoulders back.
Yeah, they'd be like, they're trying to like, oh yeah, I'm very serious. I know about startups, venture capital, and you like.
So everyone's like, think you're like a very important person.
Yeah, and I'm really not. Like straight up, really not. But it's weird. It's just like one little black piece of paper that makes people act different. It's weird.
Okay, but what do you do anyway? You know, your Fitzroy Academy.
Yes,
what does Fitzroy Academy do?
We're an online school for social impact. So we like teach people how social impact stuff works.
All right, let's talk about early on we had a great conversation about the different cities and the culture and the attitude about startups, right? So let's talk about Melbourne. How do you call Melbourne startups? Because he's originally from Melbourne, right?
Yeah,
I'm from Melbourne as well.
So it's like. So, for example, the Fitzroy Academy is based in Fitzroy, who'd have thunk it, and we like the Fitzroy joke for people that don't know about Melbourne is that Fitzroy equals Fitzroyalty, which means that if it's not like a short fixie ride, not a pushback, a short fixie ride from that like 5 minute from Fitzroy, it doesn't exist, and we don't go there.
It's like a bit of bubble.
It's like a bubble.
It's a hipster bubble. Total hipster bubble.
It's a total hipster bubble, and it's like it's even like if you look at a map of Melbourne, there's like map of Victoria even. And you look at the political spectrum, there's like red and blue states for Labour Liberal, all of it, and then there's this tiny little dot in the middle that's green. And that's Melbourne,
green. That's right? Totally Melbourne.
And it's this tiny little weird chunk of Australia that is strangely un-Australian.
And Melbourne is all about arts and creative and culture.
And being like slightly better than everyone else culturally.
The cool
like that's
factor, like the hipster vibes.
Yeah.
And Sydney is all about fintech, like the suits and the corporates.
Well, see, no, again, I think it's like, that's the... so that is true, yes, there's like tons of corporate hype, tons of hype about fintech, lots of connections with powerful people in government. There is also a massive undercurrent in the social change movement, in the like LGBTI movement is massive in Sydney, like there's a bunch of really cool stuff happening in Sydney, but yeah, everyone else knows it for fintech, sure.
But there are other things there, so I'm glad that you highlighted that. So what do you think of Brisbane? You've been here a couple of days already. You've had a Myriad Festival.
Brisbane is cool. Brisbane is like... I kind of feel like Brisbane is the Australia that I'm proud of as an Australian.
You know, it's national identity kind of thing.
Well, yeah, it's like... I think it's like people from Melbourne, we really struggle with national identity because Melbourne is in many ways very different to the rest of Australia. Like, we have the accent... but we're like a tiny little London or a tiny little New York, or we want to be, right? Whereas in Brisbane, it's like, it's smaller than Melbourne, it's smaller than Sydney, and a lot of the pretense and a lot of the bullshit just like drops away and people get stuff done.
They're chilled. So
they're chilled out, yeah.
So like you have like a conversation about like hanging out with librarians.
Yeah, right. So I've come up here a few times to work with librarians because obviously libraries are like getting real right now because like books are not important anymore.
Oh, that's
I hate to
sad.
say it, right? It's sad and it isn't, right? It's like libraries are realizing that they are a community hub and a way for the most underserved members of a population to have a place to come and hang out and learn things and be with other people, etc. And so like the whole like library industry, the library community is backflipping right now. And in Brisbane, more than other places in Australia, the librarians are loose. Like they are, like they just like they party. They're like really excited about their communities. They're
chilled. They got chilled.
Like way less pretense. You know, it's like I've noticed this thing recently where it's like, in direct proportion to how high the stakes are, the politics drops away, and vice versa. So when the stakes are low, the politics gets real high. You know, it's like when you're on top of your game and there's very little competition and there's nothing that's about to break, politics creeps in and people start like, you know, wearing the black lanyard and being all fancy and stuff. But then in Brisbane, right, it's like they're the underdog to Melbourne and Sydney. So the stakes are low. Sorry, the stakes are really high, which means the politics are low and people just get stuff done. Whether it's libraries, whether it's startups, whether it's...
This makes me excited because, like, there's so many talks. I'm going to make this action a lot now, talks. I just want people to get shit done.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the things that I want to emphasize as startups is, like, if you get shit done, then there's a level of credibility behind your talk.
Yeah. And I think actually, like... all credit to Murray and Martin. They have done an incredible job of getting together people that are professional doers, not professional speakers. So like my favorite talk so far has been by this like wonderful rocket scientist called Paddy from Adelaide, and he's got to be the least personally aware speaker I've seen. You know, he's excited about what he does, he's excited to tell people about it, and he's not polished, not, you know, like...
That's authentic.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
like, and it's almost like we overuse this word authentic to a point where it's meaningless, but he is.
He is.
Right?
Authentic in many ways is the person who's just being real and they're being articulate, they're just being themselves.
Yeah, yeah. And I've noticed there's a lot of that here. It's like a lot of like I've been like banging around and talking to people over coffees and stuff, and people are maybe it's the vibe here, or maybe it's just Brisbane. I don't know, but it's like people have been really quick to share how they're feeling, how they're thinking,
and also willing to help. Like, this is what I want to do. It's like, here, let me help you.
Yeah. Oh, that was the thing that blew my mind, right? So like, first it was like the first or second talk we had, Pip Marlowe from Suncorp, right? Corporate, you know, it's like corporate is evil to me because I'm like a little punk kid, right?
Evil.
But there's this incredibly powerful woman from a big corporation, and the main thing she had to say was like, how can I help? And it's like, okay, cool, now you're speaking my language. It's like, there are people like that in situations like that are using the same language and the same approach as like the punk kids that are coding and building rockets and stuff, and that's incredible.
So we're like, the whole recap of the conversation is there is some sense of excitement where we're just getting stuff done, and people are like creating channels where like we just want to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the vibe that we're getting from Brisbane then.
Yep, totally. I mean, it's like yesterday, I'm sure you've spoken about this before, but like yesterday, the skies opened up and just vomited rain on everything, and it all shut down at 12.
And everyone just started networking like crazy.
Right. It
Which
was
is
like
kind of beautiful existence, I have to say.
But and it wasn't. I think networking as a term undervalues the intimacy of the conversations that people were having, right? It's like when the shit hits the fan and it's literally flooded out, a whole bunch of people like just sat down and started to have beers and talk, and in a way it's like, I almost wonder if next year they're going to try and like manufacture another national emergency so that like they can shut down all the fancy speakers. And
the kind of the combustions or the collisions that are happening right now, I don't think it could be mimicked any more than that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I hope they do mimic that collision more, where people just want to like connect and network, connect and collaborate.
I think it's evidence of the people that are like the team that's running it. You know, it's like because of the way they roll. Like Martin operates under pressure. You know, it's like when things go wrong, he's like, cool, now it's exciting, right? And so that attracts people that are like that are like, you know, I hate the term, but like comfortable being uncomfortable. They're into it being a little bit chaotic, and they attract theirs, and before you know it, there's like this surprisingly large, 2,500 people here that are all kind of into that idea with very little pretense, and that's
amazing.
Primo.
Let's leave it for that, and let's give it a high five. Thank you for the awesome conversation, and
see y'all.